At the start of the movie, we meet a young woman named Mallory, driving alone down a quiet stretch of highway. Her wedding is just a week away, and she's headed out of town to make some last-minute arrangements. But strangely, Mallory doesn't look excited at all. In fact, she seems distant, lost in thought, as if she can't quite believe she's actually getting married. For miles, the only sounds are her tires on the pavement and the faint hum of the engine. She's quiet, withdrawn, and uneasy. Suddenly, Mallory spots a narrow service road cutting through the woods. Thinking it might be a shortcut and maybe a more scenic drive, she turns onto it. But as she goes deeper in, her car sputters and suddenly dies. She tries restarting the engine again and again, but nothing works. Making matters worse, she checks her phone. No signal, no way to call for help. The road is deserted. It's just Mallory alone. Then, out of nowhere, a man appears. Christian. He notices her car trouble, offers a sympathetic smile, and without hesitation starts working under the hood. After a few tries, he gets the car running again. Relieved, Mallory thanks him, ready to drive away. But just as she's about to leave, something nags at her. Christian helped her, and she's about to abandon him out here? Feeling guilty, she offers him a ride. That one decision changes everything. At first, Christian seems normal, friendly, even charming. But the vibe quickly shifts. His tone gets unsettling. His casual remarks start to sound wrong. It doesn't take Mallory long to realize he's not who he seems. Mallory immediately pulls over and firmly tells him to get out of her car. But Christian refuses, and before she knows it, she's trapped. Christian pulls out a knife and threatens her, forcing her to drive deeper into a remote, isolated area. Heart pounding, Mallory complies, terrified for her life. Then she notices something. Christian isn't wearing his seatbelt. Seizing her one chance, Mallory slams the accelerator and jerks the steering wheel, sending the car tumbling violently down a slope. The car crashes hard. Somehow, Mallory survives, but her leg is pinned under the seat. No matter how hard she tries, she can't free herself. Meanwhile, Christian climbs out completely unharmed. He looks back at her, then walks away, leaving her to die. Mallory screams for help, but no one hears. As night falls, the temperature drops sharply. She wraps herself in whatever clothing she can find and turns on the heater, draining what little battery power she has left. But she isn't just fighting the cold. She notices wild animals circling the car. Thinking fast, Mallory switches on the headlights. The sudden glare scares them away. Somehow, she survives the night. Morning comes, but things only get worse. She's running out of water and she has no food. Days pass. Mallory grows weaker, but rescue never comes. Then, Christian returns. He's calm, cheerful, and cruel. He tells Mallory he's found a cabin nearby that belongs to a family who's out of town. He brings food with him, but instead of sharing it, he sits in front of her, eating slowly, mocking her starvation. Then he walks away, leaving her suffering. Night falls again. Desperate for warmth, Mallory finds a lighter in the car and uses it to survive the freezing dark. Exhausted, she eventually dozes off. Until she suddenly feels rats crawling on her body. Terrified and furious, she kills one in a panic. The next morning, she hears her phone ringing, a faint, distant sound. She finds it wedged under the seat. Hope surges through her, but just as she's about to answer, Christian shows up again. Mallory quickly hides the phone, but he notices. He grabs it, crushes her last chance of rescue, and says something chilling. The family from the cabin came back, but he's locked them inside their own home. Then, calm as ever, he pulls out a handsaw and sets it in her lap. "This is my help," he says. Mallory stares at him, horrified. "This saw can't cut through the door," she whispers. Christian smirks. "It's not for the door, it's for you. Cut off your leg. That's the only way you're getting out." With that, he walks away, leaving her with an unthinkable choice. Mallory breaks down but can't bring herself to do it. As night falls, dehydration hits hard. She feels herself slipping away, until rain begins to pour. Grateful, she collects enough water to keep herself alive. Turning on the radio, she hears reports of flooded roads forcing drivers to reroute. That means cars might finally pass nearby. Then headlights appear. A vehicle stops. But it's Christian's car, again. Thinking fast, Mallory smears rat blood all over her leg and pretends she tried to saw it off and bled out. Christian falls for it and leans into the car. That's when Mallory plunges a knife into him, grabs his keys, and locks his vehicle before throwing the keys far away, hoping someone will find his abandoned car and investigate. But Christian, furious and bleeding, somehow escapes. Suddenly, a police car arrives. Mallory screams for help, but the storm drowns her voice. Christian runs up to the officer, acting desperate, pretending to be a victim, and the officer drives off with him. Mallory is left behind, helpless. Realizing no one's coming, Mallory knows she has to save herself or die. She prepares to cut off her leg, but then fate intervenes. The floodwaters lift the wrecked car, loosening the door. Mallory escapes without sacrificing her leg. Weak but alive, she follows a muddy path until she reaches the cabin Christian mentioned. From inside, she hears muffled screams. She could run, but she doesn't. Mallory grabs a rock, pushes open the door, and steps inside. What she finds is horrifying. The family is dead, the police officer has been killed, and Christian has a woman tied up. Mallory rushes to free her, but before she can, Christian emerges from the shadows. This time, Mallory's ready. She grabs the officer's gun. A brutal fight breaks out, raw, vicious, and bloody. Mallory fights with everything she has, finally managing to shove Christian into one of his own traps. His leg gets caught, mangled, leaving him screaming in agony. Mallory picks up a knife, looks him dead in the eye, and says, "Remember this? You once gave me a saw and told me to cut my leg off. Now it's your turn." She tosses him the knife and walks away, rescuing the captive woman. In the final shot, Christian slowly bleeds out. Moments later, he dies. Mallory stands in the rain, exhausted but alive, finally free. Moral of the story, what goes around comes around. Do evil, and it will find its way back to you. Fade to black. End.